We'll set the registration fees as K60 and it is applicable for all the classes. I'll click on add. We have defined enrollment fees and registration fees which is applicable for all the classes, and their amounts are K20 and K60. Now PTA fees is K60 and it is applicable for annual fee group. So as we discussed earlier, enrollment and registration fees belong to admission fee group. PTA and sports fees belong to annual fees group. So PTA is K60 and sports also K60. Now I select PTA fund and it belongs to annual fees group and it is K60 and it's applicable for all the classes. I'll click on add. Now we added PTA fund as well, and sports fees which is again assigned to annual fees group and it is 60K and it is applicable for all the classes. Okay, so we have added successfully. We can cross check once. I select admission fee group. I select click on find. You can see all the fees that we have defined for all the classes. You just want to see enrollment fees. Click on enrollment. You can see that enrollment fees is assigned to admission fees group and its amount is 20 and it is applicable for all the grades. And similarly registration fees, it is applicable for all the grades. Annual fees, if we go to annual fees, PTA fund, you can see that it is applicable for annual fees group, and sports fund, it is again applicable for annual fee group. So far we have defined enrollment fees, registration fees, PTA fees and sport fees, and they have been assigned to respective fee groups and their corresponding classes, grades. Now let's define school fees, which is for 3 terms. For each of the grade the amount is different. I'll click on add. I'll create click on school fees. We'll take school fees for term 1. So if we go back to our configuration file where we have defined everything, we just you can see that grade 1 to 7 it is 600 for each of the term. I'll click on 600, I enter 600, I select all the grades and I will 4, 5, 6, 7, and it is not applicable for till 7th, pre-nursery, LKG, UKG, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Till 7th standard it is 600 for first term. Now I'll select for second term, again it is 600 and it is applicable for fees. I have to select. I'll select school fees, I'll select annual, then I'll select term 2 and the amount is 600. It's applicable for first standard, second standard, third, fourth, fifth, sixth and 7th. Then I'll click on add. We have assigned school fees for second term as well for grade 1 to 7. Now again I'll select third term, amount is 600. You click on first standard, second, third, fourth, fifth, 6th and 7th. Okay, for first grade to 7th grade we have defined the first, second and third term fees. Similarly for 8th and 9th the amount is 700 for each of the term. Now again we select school fees. Now we select school fee term 1 and the amount is 700, K700. If we go back here you can see that 8th and 9th it is K700. Okay, so we just select 7th and 8th. Just ignore all the previous grades for which the amount is already assigned. It's a visual indication that the amount is already assigned for these classes. Now we just selected 8th and 9th standard. We'll go back to our configuration. 8th and 9th standard, it should be 700. I'll click on add. Okay, so similarly, school fees, we click on term 2 and now it is 700 for 8th and 9th. 8th and 9th for term 2 also it is 700. I'll click on add. Again school fees, term 3 it is 700 for 8th and 9th grade. So we have defined for 1 to 7th, for all the 3 terms we have defined 600. For 8th and 9th grade we have defined K 700 for all the 3 grades. Now for 10th and 12th it is K 800. School fees, click on term 1, it is 800 for 11th and 12th. 10th, 11th and 12th. Okay, we can make that correction later. I'll just show that as well. So now right now it is supposed to be defined for 10, 11 and 12. I'll just click on add. School fee term 1. I'll select school fees. Term 2, 800. It is applicable for 10th, 11th, 12th. Term 1 we made a mistake, we can correct that later as well. School fees, term 3, again it is 800. It is applicable for 10th, 11th and 12th. I'll click on add. We'll close this. Now if we select school fees term 1, school fees, click on find, you can see that school fees is 700 for term 1 for 8th, 9th and 10th here. So it is 8th and 9th it is 700, whereas for 10th also we have assigned it as 700. So what I will do is I'll edit this record and now I'll uncheck 8th and 9th. For 10th it should be 800. I'll make this correction. I'll click on update and close. I again click on find. You can see that now the fee structure what we had exactly we have defined here. It is the fee structure, school fees is 600 for term 1 for first grade to 7th grade, first grade to 7th grade, and for 8th and 9th it is 700. You can see that it is 700. For 10th, 11th and 12th it is 800. Similarly for term 2 we can cross check that 8th and 9th it is 700, 10th, 11th and 12th it is 800, for 1st to 7th it is 600, and for term 3 again we click on find. You can see that the amounts is defined as per the fee structure given to us. Okay, let's see how we can collect these fees. Assume that there is a student who is joining for whom we have to collect the admission fees as well. Go to students lab. For any new admissions that happen, you assign the admission fees lab and you click on update. And I have one more student who is in 12th standard. 12th standard I have to assign section. I'll go to class subjects, grade subjects, and I'll click on add. Since I have just now added 9th, 12th, 11th and 12th, I'll assign A section. I'll assign one subject so that that section is visible in the students labs. I go back here, I click on 12th standard and click on find. You can see that admission fees lab is not assigned for this student. This student is already present in the institution. This is not a new admission, so we are not going to assign the admission fees lab. Now let's go to students fee payment menu in the admin master. So now I select first standard A section and I select the student. Now you can see that this for this student admission fees is visible because we have assigned the admission fees lab. This admission fee group will be visible only if we assign the admission slab for the student in the student information student slabs menu. We can collect the payment since it will be made only during the new admission. Annual fees, again the parents can pay in full. And term fees, in every term the parents can come and you select the term fees. Out of 600k they are paying only 300. You make the change here in the amount paid column. You make the change how much ever the parent is making a payment, and you click on pay fees and click on print. A receipt will be generated. It will also add what is the balance amount that particular parent has to pay to the school. Now you can see that the school fees amount was 600, amount paid is 300, and balance amount is 300. Okay, so the next time within the same term on a different, so now I select a second term. You can see that amount is 600. I select first term, I'll on a different date. You can see that the balance amount, due amount is 300. You can collect. Again the parent can make only 100 K100 and you can collect that payment. Again you can generate a receipt. So for every term you can make partial payment and it will show the balance amount on the next date when they come for making the fee payment. Now if you see that there is a due amount of 200, on a different date I will make a payment and all the balance will be cleared. There is no balance. Total dues for 200, amount paid is 200 and there is no balance as such. Now once they make for the payment for the first term, in the next session again the whatever the amount that is assigned for the second term will be visible. Again you can make a partial payment. And so I'll show that in the 12th standard student who is already existing, for this student the admission fees should not be visible. If you see here, there is only annual fees and school term fees. There is no admission fees visible. The reason being we have not assigned the admissions fees slab for the student who is in 12th standard. We will unassign once the fees is collected in the session where the student is taking the admission. Once that session is over, we will unassign the admission fees slab. So that way that fees won't be visible in the next academic session. So this is how you collect the fees in school admin. So I'll make one more payment here. I have selected 12th standard A Naidu and I'll select term 1. Amount is 800. If the parent is only making K50 payment, I'll click on pay fees and you can see that it is showing the balance amount. On any given date range, you can go to reports, you can go to admin master, click on cash master, you select any date range starting from beginning of this month till end of this month and you click on find. It will show all the payments so far you have done in this academic session. So this is the fee structure we started with. We started with this fee structure, and then from the fee structure we identified what are the fees that we need, how many fee groups that we have to define, and what are the amounts and how many slabs. And this information we defined it in masters fees menu. We defined all the fees that we identified here in the fees menu, and then fee groups. We defined all the fee groups that we identified, and in the fee amount we defined all the amounts that are required, amounts for each of the grade and for each of the fee names. And also we assigned the admission fees slab for the admission fees which is collected only during the first admission to your institution. This is how you can configure fees in school admin. If you have any more, if you need any more training or any other information, you can send us an email at support@marvelsoft.co.in. We will help you in configuring the fee structure. Thank you.